Yes, Steve Beauregard. I'm the founder of GoCoin and founded the company back in 2013. And at the time, we just felt like we were way too late to the game. BitPay was already out there. Coinbase was already doing transactions for merchants and signing up some big names. And we thought we were too late to the party. And as it turned out, we were actually very early. And the way I describe the company right now is people say, how are things going at GoCoin? I say, well, we're not a unicorn. We're more like a Clydesdale. Steady growth, slow. But merchants really haven't been all that excited about Bitcoin. And I forget who it was just a few moments ago, the speaker before last said, the best thing you can do for Bitcoin is hoard it. That's the worst thing you can do for GoCoin. Because people that are hoarding their coins and not using them in transactions, that really doesn't drive the adoption the way we would like to see it. So anyway, some of you may recall about a year ago, we merged with a company called Zifter out of New Hampshire. And so I want to give a couple of updates on what we've been up to since the merger. And the idea was they had built a full payment gateway, full PCI compliant credit card gateway. And they were also doing coins as well. They had also launched a coin called the Zifter coin at the time. And the idea was that they would use this coin as a loyalty platform. So I'm going to talk about some of that today. So some of the generational trends that we looked at is at this point, the millennials fundamentally distrust financial institutions. They also distrust the media and pretty much everything there is that we've become accustomed to listening to as we've grown up. So that's one of the big trends that we see. And they believe that within 5 years, sort of the way that Airbnb and Uber have disrupted those hotels and taxi services, that there's going to be somebody who disrupts banking in a fundamental way. And I'm a believer in that too. Because I don't trust banks either. So other things that they'll see is they love to try new technologies and take them on, and they want more secure ways to transact. So from the shopping trends, if you think about the online merchants, one of the things they're starting to see is people will go to the stores, they'll find products, and then we go and find it online cheaper. That was the thing that has been happening. So what we're seeing a little bit more of now is lots of times shoppers don't want to pay for shipping. So what they'll do is they'll buy it, go into the store, and pick it up. And so that's another thing that we've seen that is starting to drive some online shopping. And then 69% of participants now are in some sort of a loyalty program, whether it's with their credit card or the individual stores. And gift cards are actually seen as a pretty secure way, especially from the point of millennials. So some of the top priorities for the online merchants right now is payment security is at the top. I mean, that is the big problem that they have with online chargebacks. You've got people with the card not present. There's lots of fraud that happens. And so all of these things are technologies that a blockchain is very good at solving. Another thing they're looking for is real-time analytics and more inventory and things that are integrating better with to show them what exactly the shoppers are buying. And so another problem that we're looking to solve is the shopping cart abandonment problem. And probably everybody does this routinely. You go and you put things in your cart and you try to check out what it's going to look like, what are your taxes going to be, how much is shipping, and you see the total price, and oftentimes they're right out the door. Or you want a coupon. You feel like you're not getting the best deal. So you're shopping around going, and I call these people as sport shoppers. They're out there and they're just looking for the best deal they can find. They want their coupon. They want to know if they can get it on another site for cheaper, who can ship it to me faster, and what are my payment options? Well, the thing after that, once you get down to the point that you're going to buy it, now you have to type all that information in again and again and again. Every website has its own checkout process. Some of them will accept a PayPal or MasterCard or Visa have their own checkout systems now. But by and large, most websites force you down the path of their checkout. So I'm going to pick on one of my merchants here, Lionsgate Film, who is a great press release, but unfortunately hasn't done a whole lot of transacting in Bitcoin. But in their shopping checkout process, once you go and you populate everything, you put all your information in, you have to put the shipping information, you have to put your billing information. This is all the traditional checkout stuff you see. Then they make a fatal mistake. They ask for a promotion code. So what's the first thing that person's going to do? I don't have a promotion code? Uh-oh. I better go off of this site, out to RetailMeNot or coupons.com, and I have to go find a coupon now where I feel like I'm not getting the best deal. Number one reason shopping carts abandon right here. they're out of there. At that point, once they go off to another site, they're seeing a coupon for something they didn't even know they were looking for. They're getting retargeted. Retargeting ads are popping up. Next, they're in Facebook, and they're seeing ads for things that they just looked at a coupon for. So all of these things are sort of conspiring to distract the shopper. So in the Bitcoin world, these are some of the merchants that have signed up, and a lot of these, like I said, were great press releases. Microsoft started for their Xbox taking Bitcoin. We had Remax in London is one of our merchants that allows you to pay for your rent, or you can make a down payment on a house. Movietickets.com, they do a good bit of business with us. But all these merchants together really haven't driven merchant adoption. So we're really hoping that we can drive using blockchain technology through the loyalty points, because that's really, we really have seen that merchants have lost a lot of interest in Bitcoin. And the reason is people aren't using it enough. Sure, it's 1% fees, it's better than credit cards, there's no chargebacks, all these things are great, but if people aren't using it, then you really haven't solved a problem for the merchant. So if you look at consumer trends also, credit cards took about 30 years to become really popular. Okay, 50% of households after 30 years were actually using credit cards finally. And the mass adoption happened in the 80s. And the reason was really these reward and point systems that came into effect. So how many times do you actually take one credit card that you get double points on and use that over the one that you only get 1 point for? So you're always thinking, I know I am, when I'm shopping, there's even times that I wanted to use Bitcoin on a site, and I go, boy, I won't get my frequent flyer miles over here if I use Bitcoin. So it does play against you. So what we've done is made a blockchain-backed loyalty reward system. And here's how it works. So the site's called GoPayWin, and you check out, just like any other checkout site, you're going to have to log in, username, password into the site. But once you sign in, now you have all this information stored. So we're turning the whole checkout process over to the consumer. So regardless of what the site they're going to, they can pick their options, how they want to ship it, pick their shipping options. Then we get down to how do you want to pay. You can use a combination of Bitcoin. You can use other digital currencies. You can also use your points and rewards right down here. You can also, at the same time, use your MasterCard or Visa. So let's say you don't have enough coins in your wallet. You can then use the combination of those two at checkout. And now the points that you receive are actually a coin. You won't see it as a coin because it's going to show up in your wallet as points. The nice thing is that the merchant has the ability to change the redemption value of those points. So if they want to have a special and they want to offer, $5 redemption value on a certain day on that coin or on a certain SKU number or product, they'll have the ability to use that. So we're using the security of the blockchain to secure the tokens, because one of the big problems that merchants have is a lot of fraud with their coupon systems. People are making photocopies of them. We have really, really advanced photocopiers that can make almost a perfect copy of any coupon. Then they have to track which ones have been spent, which ones haven't been spent. And we can do all that through cryptography with a blockchain. So what's in it for the consumer? Really, what we're doing is we're trying to engage them in a way to get them used to using a blockchain currency without them really getting into the intricacies of Bitcoin and having to understand the wallets and all of these things. So that's really the trick here, is to get them used to it. Now they can use different ways to pay for things, not just their credit card. And once we believe that once they start doing that, they're going to start to get more interested in the coins, because the adoption curve is really, really slow in merchant processing. December was by far our best month we've had in our entire history, and we eked out a little bit of profit. So it goes to show you that even in months where you're really, feel like you're killing it, the price of Bitcoin's going up, this is really, really a slow burn, a slow boil, if you will. So in terms of the tokenization and security, another thing we've done is we've made the security completely end-to-end. So you're not at any point in the system. Once you're inside that system, it's all completely locked down. So and secure all the way through. So from the wallet all the way through the checkout process, you can see here that you've got how many points you've accumulated. All of that's visible. And what we do is when they're at checkout, if they have points, it'll show, hey, do you want to use your points? But we're not going to say, hey, do you have points, and display that if they don't have any. Because once again, that's just going to distract them away of how do I go get some points. So that's really mostly what I have today to present to you. We'd be happy to take any questions of anybody. Yes, please. No, it's going to be up to the merchants to drop this on like they would put PayPal on. So it's another checkout option that they put on their checkout. So you would have your own wallet, and any site that takes this, you'll be able to shop there. So we do have a little bit of a chicken and egg scenario, but we have about 5 merchants that are going. The other thing is you can use these points across different merchants. You're not just stuck with one merchant having the ability to take the points. Like you go shop at REI, you only have REI points. You can't use that at another site. So with us, you'll be able to use them at movie tickets. If you go to movie tickets, then you can then take those same points you earned there on a different site. Yes?
What's the sign-up process for new users?
Yeah, so I'll be honest, it's been a little bit difficult to get people to sign up for their wallet, because the way we do it is we bring them through that sign-up process, and at the end we say, would you like to have your points? If so, here, create your wallet. And that's been a little bit of a tricky thing to get people to do that. So we're still working through the A/B testing of what's the best way to get them to sign up. So hopefully we'll have some better data for you in the next couple months. Yes? So we're really looking for the small to mid-sized merchants that are not large enough to have their own loyalty system, and giving them now the option to have a system that they don't have to pay anything extra for. They need to have credit card processing anyway. This is another way to attract them. We're also going the indirect route and talking directly to some of the big merchant processors to adopt the wallet technology and let them make their fee on the credit card transaction, but they'll just pay us for the loyalty system. Anyone else? Yes? You were talking about the big screen. Those were just all the merchants that have adopted Bitcoin in general. And then in the demo, we just had some names we put up there for example. But there are a couple that we are working with in the New England area, but we haven't announced anything publicly yet. So, yes? So you're still processing. You're talking about from the merchant perspective or the consumer perspective? Merchant, yeah. So it's really up to what the merchant, how they want to sign up. If they sign up with us directly, we have a very easy online sign-up process, and then they'll be processing with us. If they're already with WorldPay or somebody like that, they can continue to process with them, but they would just use our gateway and our software. And then we wouldn't be taking a part of that fee. So. Yes? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Not as of yet, but you have a lot of possibilities once we get into this kind of a system. But we'd like to make it to the point where these are used in the same kind of fashion where you can now trade them. But you see the airlines are also going the other direction, starting to let you buy products with their points. So United's gotten pretty smart about that too. So it's all the same thing. It's just tokenization of the value and trying to build that loyalty. So for the Bitcoin portions of it, with Bitcoin, we're basically processing that offshore. We have the company is organized in the Isle of Man, and so they do all of the compliance work. And so in the U.S., you're talking about the loyalty points itself, or just in general? Yeah. Well, there isn't any problem with the loyalty points because you're just tokenizing that, and that token's not tradable. So in the case of the merchant processing, the merchant actually is the one who takes the Bitcoin in, and then they effectively are selling it to us. So there's no regulation around that. So, but we're registered with FinCEN. We do all of the responsible things we need to do. So, thank you, everybody.